have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. It's been 18 days since my last live stream, but here I am. And of course, flying over Australia has been a lot of fun. It's been really cool. As you guys know, I'm a Kiwi from New Zealand, and here I am in Australia. So it's been a lot of fun being here. Going to be here for quite a bit more time. But we're back at the main base, and so yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. We've got a lot of catch up in the last 18 days. Of course, we had a massive correction in the markets, including Pulse Chain still under pressure as well. So we're going to get into all that deep dive. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to look at the last week's monster thread, which is monster thread number 41. And we've got number 42 coming out tomorrow. I know MVS Crypto has been working hard on that as the editor-in-chief. And looks like we've got another publication coming down the line very, very quickly. So if you are a project team out there and you want to get a lot of exposure, that is the place to be. So hit myself up or MVS Crypto and get yourself in our current Monster Thread publication. But of course, our next publication, which is coming up very, very soon within the next 2 weeks. So if you want to hit us up for that. All right, so let us know in the chat as well, getting lively. If you're on X, don't forget to hit the repost button. If you're on YouTube, smash the subscribe, hit the likes, all the good stuff, and follow as well. Now, we're going to check out my X profile because as I've been away for about 18 days, we're heading up towards 1,500 followers. As you guys know, I had to rebuild my channel after my last one was pulled down. I think I had about 6,500 followers on X. Probably be about 12, 13 or more by now, but had to restart. So when you restart, it takes a bit of time, but we're almost back at 1,500. So a big thank you to everybody following out there on X. It really is cool. And as you guys know, we're going to get back to the daily shows. So it's pretty cool. 6 years of daily shows. Finally had a big holiday. People were wondering where you went. And I'm like, where'd you go? Where'd you go? What have you been doing? Where are you going to be streaming again? And so yeah, it was over 2,000 days of streaming. And you take 18 days off, and all hell breaks loose. But it's great to be back, guys. And I've had a lot of fun in Australia so far. It's been really, really cool. We've got Property View back. Good to see you, Property View. Good to have you back. You're looking real good. So I appreciate that. Long-term supporter of the channel, of course. And get in the chat there. Say hello as well. All right, so let's kick into gear. Let's have a look where the crypto market's at. So we're going to go to CoinGecko and quickly check out the markets. So let's get into that right now. I think we'll go for the big screen. So we got the market cap at the moment. Man, it is tiny, guys. 2.55 trillion US dollars is the market cap right now, down 3.9%. So yeah, it's we've definitely been pushed to the downside. And so let's see where we are at with Bitcoin. We're going to zoom in on Bitcoin a bit more. Let me just refresh this. I can see that the numbers were not updated, probably because they got stuck. Probably because they got stuck on my 18 days ago. So let's have a look at it. So actually, market cap is 2.4 trillion. It's even lower than it was last time I opened my browser. Is that crazy? We got Elwill in the house. Is welcome back. I was getting worried. Yeah. 18 days is a long time. When you've been streaming for over 2,000 days, and then suddenly you don't stream for 18 days, everyone wonders, where the heck are you? So there we go. And as you guys know, the only large Pulse Chain streamer that does basically daily shows with a few days off here and there. It's good to be back. I love Pulse Chain, love Ethereum, love crypto. So, and I know you guys do too. All right, we're going to be changing a few things on the format as well. You're going to see a few changes over the next week. It's going to be pretty exciting. And of course, we're looking to launch a second publication. We're going to be in touch with a lot of teams as well. If you're a team out there, we really try to do our best to have a professional publications that cost effective and get maximum exposure. And of course, with the Monster Thread, really dominates the publications out there with, we're between 35 and 50,000 viewers. And that's during a bear market. Imagine a bull market. We're expecting potentially 150,000, maybe higher, 250,000 people will flock in. You know what the bull markets are like. Everyone comes out of the woodwork. So it's going to be pretty fun. All right, so let's have a look at the Bitcoin price. So we're at $68,000 at the moment. So we'd probably been ranging between about 62 and 70. Was this the last big move, over 50% down from $126,000? Some people calling maybe we might go for one more leg down potentially, maybe to the 57 or something like that. We shall see. At the moment, though, we're up 0.4% for the 24-hour. Looking at Ethereum, we're at $1,972. It's fighting around the 2,000 mark. I think we've been between about, 1,800 and 2,100 kind of range. We're almost at 2,000 right now, up 0.6%. And let's have a look at XRP, down 0.2% at $1.42. Number 4. Number 5, BNB, down 0.8% at $621. We've got Solana is up 0.8%, $85. Tron at number 8, up 1.4% at just below 29 cents. Doge there down 2.6%. And of course, with Elon Musk and X, we know that these crypto tags are coming up soon, right? So crypto tags coming up. That's going to be pretty exciting. I think we're about to have a new boom in the old crypto on X, and maybe we'll get that crypto wallet. And of course, there'll be a lot of competition between the crypto communities to get their market share of the X platform. It is coming down the pipeline very, very soon. So a lot of stuff happening there. We'll Doge there, get a big uplift from that, of course. Number 10, we've got Figure Hallock in the house, up 1%. Of course, that's flipped. Cardano, since I last streamed 18 days ago, has come back away. Look at it, it's gone all the way down to number 13. It's been flipped not just by Figure Hallock, but it's been flipped by Bitcoin Cash and White Bitcoin as well. So it's absolute carnage for the old ADA there. It is down at number 13. So Figure Hallock there at number 10 is at 1%. So those are our top 10 right now. And to get in the top 10, you have to be over $15.9 billion in market cap. Now, I know Richard Hart calls market cap a vanity metric. Well, to some degree it is. And it can easily be manipulated too, obviously. But in terms of CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, it is what ranks a lot of tokens. So it is not just a vanity measure in that sense, because people will rank it. It also opens it up to unit trust type investments, which typically pick up a basket of goods, right? In this case, a basket of cryptos. So getting ranked by CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko and getting market rankings is very exciting. That's why we're excited about LibertySwap and PCock, because I think it's got the best chance on Pulse Chain as a utility meme to really get in that top 50, and that's their ambition on CoinMarketCap. And they have been verifying their contracts. So we're going to talk about that later on. They're very close. It could be very, very soon. And if they get changed from 24-hour volume to market cap, that's going to jump them from 4,200, something like that, I think, where they are now, to the top 1,000. So we're going to keep a look at that, and maybe even top 800. And once they do that, market's going to react and say, hey, look, these guys have got high profile now. And then there's going to give probably another wave of buying, in addition to all the utility and buying that we're seeing from PCock as well. So PCock has been one of the shining lights on the hill on Pulse Chain, and the team has been delivering, backing up their words with actions, and building out one of the main mega themes of Pulse Chain and crypto generally, which is privacy, right? Privacy having a big, big push forward. And we saw Vitalik from Ethereum pushing that as well, trying to return back to the roots. And of course, that has implication for second layer protocols and everything else. But LibertySwap is actually at the frontier of privacy, unified liquidity pools, bridging, swapping, trading. It's all coming. And we've got LibertyX is coming up very, very soon. So we're going to have a look at where PCock is right now, really leading the way. And, Pulse Chain still has a lot of good quality projects. Unfortunately, we still have a lot of, whales and stuff like that selling down, even at the lows. And so we've had CryptoSolve covering a few of those as well. So big shout out to them for doing that work. Hey, we've got a few more comments here. We've got Hexavator in house there. Hey, gang, good to see Hexavator. Welcome back, Super. I appreciate the Hexavator, and all the best to you as well. And it's good to be back. So there's our top 10. Let's have a look at the best performer over the last 24 hours. It has been Tron at 1.4%. Looking at the last 7 days, Tron is up 2.4%. And let's have a look at our top 100 and see what's the best performer. So we've got Stable there, sitting up 23%, sitting at number 94. We've got Morpho at number 71 is the second best performer, up 19% for the week. Decreed is at number 97, up 16% for the week. World Liberty Financial, of course, a lot of drama around that with the Trump family, but generally because they're making mad gains. And we've seen actually World Liberty, particularly the USD1 stable, increasing dramatically, and we might look at that. That's going to be a big theme, and of course, it's a bit of a Blue's Clues into the White House strategy as well around crypto. Is watching World Liberty Financial do their thing. Now that's up 11.3% for the week. At number 4, Cosmos Hub or Atom is up 5.4% for the week. So those are our top 5. 4 of those are above 10%. So not bad there. But World Liberty Fry is definitely worth keeping a look out there. Now let's go back to the market cap and look at the top performers there. Obviously, stable coins have been booming, right? We're expecting some big stuff happening there around stable coins. Tether, USDC should be the big winners from the Genius Act. Of course, we're expecting regulations to be formulated by mid 26, around July, and then of course it has to be in law by January 27. So that's all playing out. But of course, that is a precursor, maybe front run actually. The Clarity Act, which we're all waiting for, didn't happen in January, right? February. Some people were putting 1st of March and April now as the potential dates for the Clarity Act. Of course, if the Clarity Act does pass through, that means we've got a nice, clean, regulated market for crypto between securities and commodities, between the SEC and the CFTC regulators. And of course, it also spells out the big battle at the moment, right, between yield. Banks, of course, and TradeFi are trying to protect their yields. Of course, DeFi and CeFi and crypto are wanting to capture that yield so that they can share the yield too and offer a very high yield relative to traditional banking. And of course, banking is trying to protect it, right? So we've got this big battle between yield, and that is really the crux of what's holding everything up right now. And of course, we saw Coinbase there pushing back, saying, hey, look, this is no good, this act as it is, because the banks have come in and done their usual thing, but trying to protect yield. Now, the terrible thing about banks is they offer you low yield, they take your money and they make massive amounts of money with it. And of course, crypto offers you much higher yield. It is a superior product. We have more innovation. And that's the whole point why Trump and the White House are pro-crypto, because that's where all the innovation now is in DeFi and CeFi and not on Wall Street and TradeFi and things like that. So it's a real battle going on right now. But should that happen, then we've got all the mega themes playing out. Of course, the main ones there with Ethereum, with the stablecoins, Genius Act, with, of course, tokenization, all expected to play out predominantly on Ethereum. But, of course, we are expecting Solana to do quite well as a payment rails, although one has to question, stoppages and things like that they're having with that. And, of course, Base Chain is another one that's being considered. But, of course, that's centralized as well. So there's a few questions asked around those narratives. And, of course, then we have XRP as payment rail for banks as well in play. So we've got a couple of competitions in those top coins. And then finally, we've got Chainlink, right? Chainlink is the data, going to be the data link there. That's what's going to give people a confidence in data, and that should be re-rated as well. So those are the low-hanging fruits of those chains. Ethereum, of course, is the dominant one. And when we add Bitcoin and Ethereum together, we've got 97% or so of the trading volume. And that's where a lot of the deals are done, right? Including stablecoins. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, kind of the main games in town. That is where all the institutions, corporates, the Trump White House are all going into. That's our big picture items. Some of the mega things, of course, as we mentioned earlier, stablecoins, the payment rails, tokenization, all the big three things. Tokenization, of course, is a very big topic. Of course, you can tokenize just about everything. And that means tokenizing company shares and stocks, so bringing the stock market, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, CBOE, all that stuff over the as well as, which is confirmed by SEC, that they think that might happen all within 2 years, as well as financial products themselves, like debt, the bond market, debt market. And we've already seen some massive innovation with strategy, MicroStrategy, with all their preferred stock offerings competing with the bond markets, offering up to something like 13% right now, which is pretty crazy given the price on the pullback of Bitcoin and things like that. But man, why you could earn 13%? Obviously, you take on some risk depending on deferred payments and things like that, depending on the product you take with MicroStrategy. But that sort of innovation is leading the way, and the bond market's got no way to answer it. And especially when we're on an interest cycle that's, even though it's having a bit of a pause right now, if it goes, the interest rates go down, heading towards zero, man, the price of the preferred stock could go through the roof for MicroStrategy, with the only real risk being that Bitcoin maybe hit 8,000. So you got topics like that racing around right now, and opportunities with high yield income. It is a game changer, and of course the banks. No wonder the banks are pushing back. They really are terrified of a CeFi and DeFi, and of course they know CeFi is after it. So CeFi being centralized exchanges and things like that are after the yield opportunities, and they're going to clamor all their customers. And all the trade fires coming the other way around to the blockchain. So we've got exciting, guys. Even though we're in this massive pullback right now, we know that every single pullback we've had has led into a V recovery, particularly for Ethereum and Bitcoin. So it's going to be a massive, massive gain. So take some opportunity there. Have we got one more leg down? That's the question that people are asking. But even at the current price we've still got a very good opportunity to pick up a lot of volume, even if it does take one more leg down. And that V recovery is going to be sweet, and that's when the magic money is made, right? Now, one of the things we've seen as well is with companies like BMNR or Bitmine Immersion, is we've seen retail sell down with the scare, with the market liquidations, with the deleveraging events, it's particularly since the 10th of October last year, and of course recently in the last month. But we've seen the institutions are flocking into a Bitmine Immersion. So if we've got MicroStrategy dominating the DATs for Bitcoin, and we've got Bitmine Immersion dominating the DAT for Ethereum, the institutions are telling us what's happening. They're taking a strategic point of view. They're all flooding in all the big names. They're flooding in BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, Vanguard. They're all in there. Peter Thiel, you name it. The list is long, and they are backing particularly those big two DATs, right? The digital asset treasuries are massive. So we've got that happening. Well, retail is fleeing, right? Retail is fleeing, but the institutions are coming in and buying those stocks, right? So that gives you a big Blue's Clues that all the big narratives are still in place, and we know that V recoveries happen, right? So that's some really big things to think about. And that's why I think the title of the video, if I remember rightly, was something about buying these lows, because it is pretty incredible to be able to do that right now. In fact, I'm not even sure what title I put on the video at the end of the day, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was meant to put on. I don't think I did put that on. Somehow it's got the old title on there. But anyway, that is pretty exciting for where we're heading, guys. So I think it's pretty exciting. The institutions are telling us that they're playing the big game. You got to remember, Bitmine Immersion in particular is setting. So if Bitcoin is the store of value, it got pulled back now, of course, with the fact that we've had a flight to gold. So in other words, the digital currency across the board has been under attack, from fiat all the way through to Bitcoin. But they've still got the store of value narrative. And of course, then we've got the Ethereum. Ethereum is the main game in town now. It's the main game in town. It's the most. It's where everyone's going. All the institutions are coming in. They're taking strategic positions now, and they're taking the long view, right? They're taking the 3, 5, 10-year view, right? And so they've been coming in, buying all the stock. You got, including the big crypto firms, and so it's a big deal. And I would say that you're seeing that Tom Lee has now, as the chair of Bitmine and of course Fundstrat, is now really leading the way. He's from traditional, stock market. He's been around for decades. He really got the charisma, the vision. He got into Bitcoin. He's made a lot of his clients rich out of getting in early on crypto and being that crossover guy. But now think about it. He's worth about $2 trillion, and now he's all in on crypto. He's gone all in. He's pushed all his cards in for this. It's huge. And so you've got some big stuff happening there with him, and that tells you that the game's on, guys. And we've got this pullback, but really it's just going to be another V recovery, and the V recovery is probably going to be absolutely aggressive. So you got to get your positions up real nice and things like Ethereum. All right, or buying BMNR itself on the stock market there. So those are two things that you can think about there. So that is kind of play. Let's have a look, zoom in on the overalls at the moment. We got top gainers, Punch, Greyhunt, and Radix in the top 1,000. And then trending overall, we've got Punch, Pudgy Penguins back again, another Tom Lee favorite, and then Bitcoin as well. So that's where we are right now. Super cheap crypto market. I mean, if you look at gold over 5,000, it's if you exclude the Mag 7, it's bigger than the stock market now. So excluding the Mag 7, bigger than the stock market, it is a pretty big deal there, right? So I don't know what happened there, but that is kind of the play there, the big picture. So it's game on. Strategic positions are being made by the institutions there, guys. Nothing's changed with the macro picture. It is game on, and tokenization is increasing. We lost you. So I guess it's being tested. Let me know if I'm back there, Al. That'd be appreciated. I'm going to have a quick look at the stream and see if that comes up. Let's look. It looks fine on there. Looks fine. All right, so it looks like I'm back. Let me know in the chat there if I'm not. So at the moment we got Bitcoin at the moment. It's like I say 68,000. But look where we are on this chart, guys. We are on the 200 monthly moving average. Oh, sorry, the 50 monthly moving average, as I say, and we're just above it right now. So the 50 monthly moving average is like 65,430, and we've got the current price of Bitcoin at 68,000. So we're still above that by about $2,600. Still above that, so that's pretty positive. Nice bounce there, would be pretty cool. Hextrader says you're back, and it's great to be back. And you've got the numbers watching are growing too, so appreciate everybody coming back during this. Pretty neat. So yeah, 68K on the old Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is back there on the weekly. Sorry, in the monthly, I should say. So that's our big picture view. And like I say, that store has been under a bit of attack with the old move shift from digital into gold. We know that banks around the world were buying, particularly Chinese banks and things like that, were buying a lot of gold. That have been doing that for a long time, and eventually gold and silver both pushed to the upside. And of course, there's also the technological theme playing out as well. And of course, we've been covering it on the Crypto Night Show and in our strategy club, and we called it perfectly, right? That's played out perfectly over the last 2 years, just as we talked about. So, ticks for those ones. So congratulations if you win silver or gold. That has paid off, and that's why we covered them for the last 2 years, because we knew that it was going to be having a big rally and the banks were buying, right? So, and now it's been game on and absolutely done spectacular. And we'll probably have a pretty good year in 26 for that as well. But of course, after a parallel rise, you're going to have a lot of profit taking. So that's the other thing. All right, so let's have a look at the ETH there. Let's jump into ETH. And of course, we are expecting rotations from commodities into crypto. So we're going to find out whether we get that a bit earlier this year, particularly if we get the Clarity Act going through. That's what everyone's waiting for, right? That's the big dam will break, and it's game on, right? But the battle is over yield. So let's see. Hopefully, crypto will win that because crypto will smash the yield innovation there. So at the moment, we got $973. So we're in a bit of a battle here. We are below the 50 moving average in yellow for the monthly. Let's go to the weekly at the moment. And of course, every time we have a pullback on Ethereum there, we always get a V recovery, right? So I think it's been like 8 of them, 8 pullbacks and 8 V recoveries there. And that's kind of what we're at the moment. We're buying the cheap side. The question is just whether we'll have another leg down. And typically most people are thinking if it does have another leg down, it would be maybe to 15 to 1600. However, I do have bias to the upside, and that's because we've got all the structural change that's happened since 2021 with the last bull market, and that is around the institutions coming in. And of course, we haven't really seen quite the retail FOMO. That's why we really didn't have an altcoin season yet as well. And so now I think, we've probably got a pretty good chance of trying to defend this $1,800 mark, right? So that's probably the play. Let's go to the weekly chart. Have a quick look at that on the old Ethereum, and have a look where we got to. Yeah, so recently, back in April 25 was the last time we were down at 1578. So people, we could potentially go to 1600, but that's probably the bottom if we do. And people are questioning, will that be the final leg? And of course, if it does go down there, you can get a lot more bang for your buck in terms of Ethereum. And Ethereum is the mega play. Let's not be silly about this. Ethereum has the stable coins, the tokenization. I don't think the payment rails, we need a better chain in terms of speed and instantaneous transactions. That's probably more fitting to an SVM chain or something like that. But of course, that has its own problems with shutdowns and problems, things like that. So we're going to keep a lookout for that. That's why I still think Ethereum's the much stronger play. And of course, we have Tom Lee leading the way there with Bitmine Immersion. That is the key to this, right? All the institutions coming in buying that while retail selling down. They and the institutions know what's happening, right? They have the calls. Hey, Tom, what's going on? Hey, Tom Green's up. Hey, we want to get $2 billion of your client. They ring up another guy. We want another $2 billion from you. We want another three. This is how it works. Let's get going. I'm going to tell you a few secrets. Can tell you a few secrets about what we're doing here, what the vision is. Don't tell anybody, and they all the billions coming, right? So, and that's what's happened with Bitmine Immersion, right? Now they control 4.4, almost 4.4 million Ethereum, and so it's game on there. That's the big game. That's the big game, guys. If you're looking for it. They're waiting for rotation as well, but in the meantime, what have we seen over the last couple of weeks? Seen Bitmine Immersion continue to increase their purchase of Ethereum, and they are the smart. That's where the smart money is, and we know every time we have a V recovery, it's worked like clockwork, and it's more likely now than ever, not less likely, because we've had a shift in structure of the crypto markets towards institutions, and we're waiting for that regulation. When that regulations comes through for the Clarity Act, it's a floodgate, right? It's a floodgate, and it may not happen the first day. We might see a bit of a spike and a bit of a pullback, but a couple of weeks later, bam, the market makers come in, and it's up and to the right, right? It is up and to the right. So pretty exciting there. We've got Sean in the house there, just landed in Adelaide. Nice to have you back, man. A nice one, Sean. Good to be in the near where you are. So kind of cool, Sean. Big shout out to you. All right, so that's kind of the play there right now. So we're at 1972. We're looking hot, guys. I mean, I know it's been pretty brutal. But Ethereum is the main play, and of course Pulse Chain is a full state copy of Ethereum, and it's had a few issues around the main contracts, a few issues around a lot of the sacrifice program, and of course with particularly key whales, we've got a lot of that, but we're actually starting to get a bit of light on the end of the tunnel, I think, on the old Pulse Chain, and that is particularly around some of the protocols that we've had launched, and we need the people in Pulse Chain to start head their liquidity. You take a liquidity away from bad projects on Pulse Chain, start heading it towards the good liquidity projects, and that's what we're starting to see. We're talking about the vouchers of the world. We've got probably Vault 369, the PCock Liberty Swap protocols, these kind of projects, top farms like Emmett and things like that. This is going to head our value in the right direction. That's what we want more of, right? But the market has to get more mature on Pulse Chain. Not everything. We're still going to have all the meme coins and DGens and all that, stuff that we always do. But we want to slowly get people drifting towards this more sustainable value, and we'll ride that Ethereum train. Now that excludes, of course, the magic carpet ride theory with Richard Hart, and of course the sacrifice Ethereum, and of course that's relying on Ethereum too. Now the question is how much protocol stuff we're going to see with Richard. Obviously, since I've been away, we've had stuff around ProveX and everything else come out. But what other protocols has he got up his sleeve? Wallet, stablecoin, all those sort of things up there. What other sacrifices might there be? Might there be core coins? He just did the fiat ones. Maybe it's on Ethereum, is it going to be core coins? There's lots of different things that could play out. Is he going to be a master of a genius play with some sort of fractionalization? We only need a fraction to create 20 times more value. Is there something like that it is sort of? We're just going to find out. I think that's a question mark over that one. That's probably the more speculative one. It's kind of kind of the holy grail of crypto. But there's a lot of different things that he could do to move up. And of course, when Ethereum breaks 5K, everyone knows game's on at 5K, I think, for Ethereum. And so is the magic carpet ride valuation, right? All that ETH is revalued. So there's lots of different things coming up in the future, not today, but in the future. But we already see Richard Hart has made a lot of moves last year and is doing his best in the current environment with a big pullback to get Pulse Chain set up in the right direction and letting a lot of bad players play out, right? So we've got a lot of things, variables floating up in the air there, and hopefully we'll get them landing in 26, 27, which I'm very optimistic about. And of course, once Ethereum pops that 5K, very exciting. We have, remember Richard mentioned on his video 10K, so we already know what some of the targets in his head that he's thinking, and that may trigger some value creation as well with a lot of the bad players and weak players out long before that happens. Of course, depending on when it is, it's going to be second half of this year. Very good chance of that with a V recovery. We always know a V recovery normally happens in a few months. So we've just had the big tanking. We're going to get that nice big V recovery to the upside. And could it be absolutely brutal because we've got all these institutions coming in. We've got Bitmine, Immersion buying up all the Ethereum, staking all Ethereum. At the moment, we hardly got virtually anything going out of the Ethereum staking. We've got something like 4 million or so Ethereum going in. Half of that is Bitmine Immersion. It's game on, guys. Let's face it, it's game on. The strategic positions are being made. So we've got the staking strategic, we've got the decline in Ethereum on exchanges, we've got all these mega things, the tokenization and everything else playing out. And then, of course, we've got the institutions coming in, buying Bitmine, buying the big DATs. There's two big DATs. It's the MicroStrategy, and, of course, it's Bitmine. These are two big players. They also dominate the 24-hour volume amongst all stocks in the world. I think top 30. There's a game on stuff happening. And, of course, with staking for Bitmine Immersion, you're talking about potentially $3,000, I think, Ethereum. You're talking something like $500 million of income. So if Ethereum does rally to 22K, something like that, then you're up at the $2 billion income mark for Bitmine Immersion. I mean, that's insane, guys. That puts them in the top 20, 30 companies in the world, certainly top 3 or 4 banks in the world earning income like that. It is seriously incredible stuff. And so it is game on. No debt as well. It's a leverage play. And now, of course, I talked about Tom Lee earlier. It's very important we talk about Tom Lee because even though the price of Ethereum is down, we know we're going to get this V recovery based on history and based on the structural change in crypto, as well as the new institutional buying coming in and taking over the market, right? It is a takeover of the market. I want to be clear about that. Crypto is being taken over by traditional money and, of course, those at the frontier of that, that understand crypto and the move to blockchain. There's still a lot of traditional CEOs and stuff like that running a lot of companies that are still not on board, but we have a lot of the evangelists that are, and they are setting it up for the big takeover. Tom Lee is leading the charge on that, along with a lot of other companies like ARK as well. So, and Kathy Wood. So it's a big stuff happening in this play. And so we're in this nice lull period right now. And this is going to bode well, not only for Ethereum, but also, I believe, Pulse Chain as well, as I just mentioned earlier. So very exciting stuff now. Picking up volume right now is kind of like a godsend, both on Ethereum and Pulse Chain. And so you pack your bags, and we're going to have a look at the Pulse Chain chart at the moment because it's down 5 zeros, right? 5 zeros, insane. But the volumes you pick up right now is insane as well. So it's a good way of looking at it in that regard. So this is kind of where we are right now. And of course, let's get to what is the vision that Tom Lee is doing. Now, Tom Lee recently raised, went from 500 there. Let me get rid of this little box here. And I might actually change view. We'll leave it on the Ethereum chart. So we got Tom Lee at the moment. He is bringing in the new. So if the new world order financial is being moved by Donald Trump and the White House, they want to lead the crypto innovations, right? They want to lead with the crypto market, and they are wanting to move this financial system to a big degree over into the blockchain, right? So that is huge, and Tom Lee is trying to front run that, right? So he's front running. He's buying all Ethereum. He's creating that alchemy of 5%, that network effect. He's getting all this massive staking income, right, with virtually no debt. I mean, they've got a little bit of operation. How many people they got? 20, 30 staff? I don't know, something that's pretty small. So it's a no-brainer, right? They're accumulating accretive Ethereum. That's going to be the big question. The big question is accretive Ethereum per share. So that's kind of what they're working on at the moment. They got this MNAV, right? If you guys are familiar with that, so net asset value, and if they got a premium to the net asset value, right, in the stock market price. So they try to keep that premium because then they can sell shares and buy more Ethereum and get accretive that way, right? That's kind of the idea. So that's very important, and it seems like there's just basically 2 DATs to rule them all, 2 chains to rule them all, and hopefully Pulse Chain gets to lead the way on the old privacy DeFi chain, right? That's I think the positioning that we're looking forward to with the old Pulse Chain. It's also got the battle-tested blockchain, just like Ethereum. So that's kind of the winning play, and we've got a lot of cool innovators on Pulse Chain as well, and I encourage them to keep doing that. That's really great. So we've got all that playing, and so we've got a new monetary system. Think about it more broad terms. We've got a fundamental shift onto the blockchain. Ethereum is leading the way on that. Pulse Chain is going to free ride on that too. And so that's a pretty huge deal. And so we've got the big debt there controlling the supply. We've got exchange Ethereum going down, staking. Everyone wants to stake. We're locking that all up. We're over 30%. I think it's heading up towards 31%. We're expecting more buying. I mean, Tom Lee's still going to go from 4.3, 4.4 million up to 6 million, 5%. Still a lot of buying to go on there. He's indicated that at this rate, it will be done this year, 26. So looking to buy up even more. We have seen an increase over the last couple of weeks of increasing that timing. And so that's very exciting. So he's positioning the ETH and the staking, massive income. And of course, when we get this V recovery, massive value, massive re-rate in BMNR, it's all going to be pretty fun. And of course, it's game on. But he's got a bigger picture than that, right? He's trying to take the technology and these financial trends and this new monetary system, and then he's going the next step. He's going to that logical conclusion. How can I bring all the markets together? And he's gone to Mr. Beast, right? So he's got these moonshots. He's now got Mr. Beast, right? He's now the strategic corporate owner in Mr. Beast. They put $200 million in, and now it's a $5 billion market valuation of Mr. Beast. But Mr. Beast is only just getting started, guys. He's going to be the new BlackRock for the new generations, right? The alpha generations, Generation Z, all that stuff. He is hitting massive number of viewers He is pretty much the YouTube guy. He's pretty much the influencer out there across multiple different channels. And he's the logical. You want to match the people with the technology. I say this all the time, even on Pulse Chain, right? So the Kryptonite Show and the Monster Publication, we try to match up the people with the technology. You know, the Emmett Farms, the Hogs of the world, Heartwood Dog, all those things. We try to match those two together. The same thing is happening with the old Ethereum and Tom Lee and Bitmine immersion. They are basically matching Mr. Beast with all the people in the world. Like 1 in 3 people connected to the internet is watching Mr. Beast. Over 1 billion people now across all platforms are watching Mr. Beast videos. 250 million per video, 2 videos a week, just on his shows as well. It is crazy stuff. And he's now moving into financial products. He's going to be the new BlackRock for the generation. It's a game changer. And he's just, of course, bought a new app to do that, financial app. Now, I think what's going to happen is that we also saw Bitmine immersion go from, I think, was it 500 million shares to 550 billion shares to potentially, increase the amount of shares, because if the share price of Bitmine immersion goes to crazy stuff because Ethereum's gone to the moon, then you're looking at $500, $1,000, $1,500 Bitmine immersion, and that's just so expensive for the masses. So he's trying to get the masses, and the masses it's going to be like a circular thing going around, and the masses he's going to make an offering. I think he's going to take some of those shares and do something untraditional, and he's going to get it probably into an app, because they've got an app coming from Bitmine immersion, and that's probably going to work in with Mr. Beast stuff, and they're going to be pushing the Ethereum blockchain and crypto to the masses. We're talking about hundreds of millions of people. No one can do that. It's on the planet. Only Mr. Beast has that access. So we're talking about a game changer. This is the big picture right now. So even though the market's doing something odd, the market catches up later on, right? You guys know how it works. And the next catch up is going to be massive to the upside with all the stuff happening. This is what the holy grail, what everyone's wanted. And of course, this is even beyond that, because Tom Lee's seen the vision that if I can match up Mr. Beast and all the young people in the world, and there's going to be a big wealth transfer to them too, as well as the income that they earn, and then I can match it up to the blockchain with all the mega financial things with the world payment system. I get those two together. OMG, we have got world order, guys. We got world order dominating. And of course, if you're on Ethereum, Pulse Chain, things like that, that is the one that's going to absolutely rocket to the moon. And then we could see a network re-rating. We could see a flippening as well, potentially, of market cap between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Probably very good chance of that now, given the recent move from digital to gold. So that's making the Ethereum narrative look even stronger than the Bitcoin store of value narrative. So this is a game on, guys. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Pulse Chain likely both to be supercharged. And I think it's exciting, guys. So I hope you guys have sort of fleshed out a bit of a picture of what's going on there. We've got a new world payment system going into the blockchain. Tom Lee is front running that. He's setting it up. Not as he's front running that, but he's actually extending it to the logical conclusion where you match all that product, that blockchain and financial trends, mega trends. And don't forget the Clarity Act's coming. There's going to be a flush of cash from US states, institutions, etc. It's going to be absolutely huge into the crypto. And then you're matching it now with Mr. Beast, with all the audiences that has, even up to millennials, right? It's just talking about hundreds and hundreds, billions potential of people to reach that match. And this is the holy idea. This is like holy grail. Oh my God, that's so good. So keep a lookout for that. And some of those shares actually might end up going on the app. I've just been thinking about it. Might be on the app. and maybe that's how he fractionalizes the Bitmine and creates all this extra value. And that's all because he's being sold on these new apps that Mr. Beast is going to shill and push out to his community. And so, he might be worth 5 billion today. And of course, then maybe, another couple of years from now, it's worth $1 trillion, right? This is what we're talking about, guys. Pre-ICO, pre-IPO offering, it's massive. And this is the big vision that's ahead of us. So I hope you guys enjoyed some of those insights if you weren't familiar with that. But that's kind of what we're looking forward to. Shows short-term pain for mega mad gains. That's the play. And it's really exciting what's going on right now with all of this. So that is Ethereum right now. Beautiful pickup zone. Even at 2,000, I said under 3,000 Ethereum is good, while $2,000 Ethereum is fantastic. The question is, will we have one more leg down to $1,500, $1,600 before we move up to the upside? But so far, we're managing to hold on to around this $2,000 resistance. Let's keep a lookout for that. So yeah, game on there. All right, so that is pretty much it. Let's jump over into the old Pulse and see how Pulse is going right now. So we're going to jump into the Pulse chain chart, and let's have a look at that. So here is Pulse chain. Let me go forward. So we're up 1.8% today at the moment, but let's have a look at the old chart there. This is unbelievable. And while I've been away, how long have I been away? 18 days, I think, since my last live stream. So let's have a look at how many days that is on the chart here. Funny enough, you know what, guys? I was back here streaming, and we've got, I'm on the 4-hourly there. Let me go to let's go make a daily one here. So let me see. The 3rd, I think, was the last time I streamed. So 3rd year, we were around this price. So we had a closing price of around 11.26. That's right. That's right. And since that time in this close, we've gone down all the way down another 23.5%. Insane, right? Insane. And we've got all the way down to an all-time low of 5 zeros. We lost the 0, and we went down to around about 87.30. So 5 zeros, 87.30. Just seems insane. Remember that the average mean sacrifice price was 0001. Of course, the countenance to all that is a lot of the hex OGs that made mad gains. And of course, they were the ones potentially being able to sell still at a profit regardless of price. But of course, a lot of them will be deep underwater at this stage. And of course, we've seen a lot of big players sell out as well. So that's kind of where we are. We're back up at 509.57. But the amount of volumes you can get right now for Pulse is insane too, right? So at 5 zeros, 9,600, it's a lot of Pulse you can pick up right now. It is pretty crazy. Sean says up only indeed, Sean. I think that's a good summation of where we're probably going to go from here. But we still could have one little leg down. Let's see. But if it does hold, then game on. That V recovery always comes, guys. And you guys are getting cheapest chip stuff with the biggest institutional, fundamental shift in crypto. It's going to be game on. We could also obviously looking forward to that rotation as well from gold, silver, commodities into crypto as well. So, but Ethereum does seem like the main game. And of course, good thing Pulse Chain is a full system stake fork of that. And we're starting to get some quality projects now starting to, I think, rise to the top there. All right, so 5 zeros, 9575, a great amount of Pulse you can pick up right now on the old daily. We haven't got any clear indications on the moving averages at the moment. Let's have a look at the weekly. The weekly at the moment, the RSI is almost oversold when we're down almost at 30. And we have obviously had this downtrend at the moment. All the moving averages still moving down. Let's go to the monthly chart here on the old Pulse Chain. We can see that this purple box, of course, as you guys know, was the SEC, right? So, it was unfair. It was unlucky. It was unfair. It was a probable event, probably. But, we had the SEC holding itself over us. And then, of course, we had a lot of black swan and big accounts selling. And, of course, we also had recently the sell-off in crypto since October, right? So October was this month here, and it's just been down all the way. We've had 2 major sell-off events at least. So there we are down at the moment, and we've got the RSI sitting at 37. So, there's always potential for further down, but surely once we get this V recovery, maybe within the next 2 to 3 months, a lot of people are calling April, and if we do get that Clarity Act push through, then that's a lot of money potentially coming in, absolutely floodgates are opened because it regulates the environment of crypto. That means all players can come in and have regulated offerings, right? So I think it's pretty exciting where we're heading there. All right, so that is the old Pulse chain. So mad amount of volume you can pick up right now with 5 zeros. Just mind blowing. So we'll get a lot more fresh capital in for that for sure. And hopefully we'll get a pick up on these volumes soon, right? This volumes pick up. I think what we got here, 49 million, and maybe start to pick that up, get back up to 75, $100 million, $200 million, and start getting that picked up on the upside when we start getting that recovery in the broader market. All right, so that is the old Pulse chain right now. Let's have a look at where the top leaders are. Now, I've obviously mentioned some quality teams. We obviously see a bit of move here in some of the fork coins like Staked ETH, but really the big moves are the ones we're looking forward to. PCock, of course, and PCock there with LibertySwap keep delivering the frontier of privacy. I mean, it's got to be, just one of the most exciting projects on Pulse chain. Really, I think the juggernaut on Pulse chain. And they've got such a big roadmap, and they're delivering at such speed, such pace at the frontier of privacy. But it's not just privacy, right? It's unified liquidity across chain. It's trading, pushing the trading of privacy trading. And of course, we've got ProveX coming in I think late February, I think it is. And then of course we've got the Prove Lend as well. I think the lending protocol coming as well. So it's a massive, massive ecosystem. And of course, all the big money loves to do have their privacy and be able to buy and sell assets. And we could see Pulse chain moving. And we're like, where the hell are that coming from? With a lot of the technology that LibertySwap is rolling out and at pace. So a big shout out to them. They seem to be very professional and just doing what they say. And that bodes well for some of the other better quality projects on Pulse chain, as I said earlier, like the big Pulse stake validators, like Vouch, like Validator X, two big ones there. I think they control something like 16-70% of the validators right now. And that's anchoring us some what I call quasi blue chips in quotes there. That's anchoring us there with the validators. So we've got really sort of conservative yield generating. And then we've got privacy, which is very exciting on the frontier with a lot of potential upside and probably our best chance of getting a meme coin in the top 50 on CoinMarketCap, right? So once we get switched, they're working very hard at. They're very close, I think, to getting them moving from 24-hour volume to market cap. So we're going to pull them up, actually. Let's go to CoinMarketCap, quickly have a little detour there before we get back into the rest of the charts right now. CoinMarketCap, let's have a look at market cap, and let's have a look at where PCock is right now. Now, obviously, you want to get ranked by market cap on the old CoinMarketCap. That also gives you a lot of viewership, a lot of eyes looking at it, and also potentially getting into investment indexes as well. And some people are chasing the privacy technologies as well. There's obviously a mega theme we've been talking about, not just tokenization, etc. So pretty awesome. So let's get into that. Let's have a look at PCock, see where PCock is right now on the old CoinMarketCap. So typically we've been on CoinGecko. But CoinMarketCap, of course, is the broader index ranking. And we can see at the moment that we've got PCock sitting at number 4,283. And this is easily our best chance, I think, of getting a top 50 coin, as well as one of the few billion-dollar coins that are out there that are meme coins, right? A utility meme. But with the buybacks and everything else, with the technology rollout, it's just a grind to the upside. And then we get a market reversal in the trend, and man, this is going to re-rate really fast. We get that re-rate from volume to market cap, and instantly it's going to jump. About 3,500 positions maybe up to that. So it could be 3,500 position jump from 42.83 to maybe the top 1,000, number 800, somewhere in that ballpark based on market cap. So, and this itself would help put Pulse chain on the market cap. It's just one of those key things. You have different ways of putting Pulse chain on the map. One of those is having a top meme coin, right? And so that would really help a lot. So PCock is obviously the leader there compared to a lot of the RH coins because it has the utility system of LibertySwap building out rapidly and at the frontier of privacy and trading, right? So it is pretty awesome stuff coming out from there. So, and these guys seem to be able to innovate just about anything. They come up with an idea and they innovate, and it comes to market within a quick space of time. So we're very lucky to have such a talented team there in play. And we seem to know that Crypto Sparbook seems to be involved there somewhere along the line. So keep a lookout for that as one of the bullish catalysts of Pulse Chain, and has been pretty consistent deliverer. We haven't seen any rug bills, any of this or that. All we've seen is buy and burns and buy, and we're going to buy some more. We're going to roll out another product. We're going to expand. We're going to more chains. We've got more products, more privacy. We're frontier. We're innovating on frontier privacy. It just keeps getting better and better with the old Liberty Swap. And it's a sigh of relief to many, given, we've had other good protocols, or so-called, that fell away for all sorts of reasons, right? Inside jobs or whatever else. And now we've got something that really is leading the way there. So it's very exciting to have that. So that is the old PCock in the play. Now we do see we've got Teddy Bear here. Of course, James Maria, he's got his multiple token ecosystem. We're going to see what he can do once the market reverses a bit, and see whether, the old Teddy Bear, which is supposed to be the sort of broad meme coin for his ecosystem, tokenomic ecosystem that he's devised. Of course, he's done that in groups of tokens and waves. And we'll see what happens once Pulse Chain turns around. But of course, we had a bit of drama around that too, right? As you guys all know, with XUSD and other things like that with that team. And of course, with some of the big contracts that we've had copied over to Pulse Chain, like the Maker and things like that. So hopefully those main contracts, I think, have pretty much all been exhausted based on Crypto Solve. So hopefully that's all done. And we just have to shift liquidity. It's important that the market shifts liquidity away from bad projects and into good projects, right? That's how the market's supposed to work. And I think we're seeing a bit of that. And we know that Richard's made a few moves, from what we can tell, to move that direction as well whenever we've had some bad actor or bad contracts, right? So good to see PCock, Liberty Swap there, building out new tech, new contracts, all that good stuff. And that's a good way forward. Now, the one good that we've had is obviously the first DAO on Pulse Chain with PGC UFO combination. That seems to have done pretty well, obviously having pullback with the market. But that's probably one that will have a nice rebound once the market rebounds. So it's going to play there. Let's scroll down a little bit further down here. We haven't got too much. Some of the other ones that have been performing pretty well. Emmett Farm, of course, been performing well. $1.39 right now. So big shout out to Kairos. He has really been leading the way here with innovation around the Emmett Farm. And of course, as you guys know, this is delivering EDI, right? So you just sit there and earn EDI all day long. We know that True DeFi has also come in and taken about 26% of the position, I think. And they basically stake Emmett and you earn EDI from the trading fees. And that has been very, very successful. It's now currently $214,000 of TVL. That has been highly successful as well. And they've kept the emission rate on the Emmett itself at a very manageable level. So some really good financial management there. Pretty awesome stuff. So big shout out to Kairos, and we're excited about that. And of course, recently they launched True Farms there with True DeFi, and that's been successful as well. And I have, like I say, it's a little whisper that something else is coming down the line pretty quickly from them. So it's nice to have solid, DeFi/yield farming opportunities on Pulse Chain. And we're going to see more of this area of Pulse Chain because I think it's a very valuable one. As I said before, the Clarity Act, there's a big fight between crypto and the banks around yield products because everyone wants that yield. And of course, banks are the biggest theft of yields, aren't they? They offer you a little yield on the deposit side, and then they make all the money on the other side. Whereas in crypto, they give you a much fairer deal, 5 to 10% maybe, as opposed to even 15%, as opposed to 0.2% or something like that. It's silly. So it's pretty cool. Now there's obviously a risk return trade off depending on what you're in, but this has been proven very, very good so far. And all these collabs are amazing. All the top projects have been pulled in. Look at a voucher in there, the top validator ink printer there, one of the top liquidity forks with the stable coins. Pulse Bitcoin there, obviously a digital Bitcoin miner. Lots of different things on there. Pump Tires, Crypto Paradise, one of our top influencer KOL teams there as well. And it's been pretty amazing. Pulsekin Store, one of our best merch shops. True Farm there, sitting there proud. RhinoFi, one of our best innovative tokenomics teams. So big shout out to RhinoFi team. Love those guys. Function Island, of course, out there. Donny D, another innovator leading the charge there with the old farms. I mean, he's absolutely crushing it. So we do have some really good stuff on the old Pulse Chain. We've got Actuated there. We've got Hocus Pocus there, offering some good yield farm comparisons with their tools as well. So a big shout out to the Hocus Pocus there. The Grays currency, we talked about being the first DAO. They're in there as well. Hero, we've got our own veterans products to encourage and reward veterans with the old Vic Foundation. A big shout out to the Hero team. And of course, Vets. No permissions from Randy Alaski, another big KOL in Pulse Chain. And of course, he has his own token selection as well, like Note Token. So big shout out to him. Vox, another farm and innovating on the Pulse Chain. So big shout out to those guys. Hit us up. as well. We got Pi pools there. We got Nexion leading the way. I mean, with leverage, Nexion's been amazing. So we do have a really good bunch of DeFi / yield farms on Pulse Chain offering high risk, high return incomes, and that's what a lot of people are chasing, right? They chase that, earn their yield, especially while market's down. So some good stuff happening there with the old EMAT there. So big shout out to them, holding the price, holding up pretty nicely at $1.40. Let's look at the Pulse ratio. Obviously, anything that's bonded to Pulse, you always want to look at the ratio there. And we've got the weekly chart. That's the weekly chart. So that chart's looking pretty good, right? So I think we peaked out at about 180,000 Pulse per emit, currently 145, and that chart's looking real good. And the team just keeps on delivering. So big shout out to Kairos there. All right, so we've got some good stuff happening. We've got some good projects. So now we've got yield farms, DeFis. We're talking about validators. We've got DEXs, right? So the only real big DEX that we've got outside PulseX is 9mm. And they, of course, are constantly giving back money every week. Every month, about 20,000, 25,000, even at the current prices. They are multi-chain. They have a bit of multi-chain income as well. But 9mm there, once we reverse that Pulse chain, I'm sure that's going to do extremely well with the old DEX there. Some good stuff there. Now, obviously, Hex has suffered as well. We've had a big Hex seller recently. So Hex has been down. That means that products like ALGO will be down, any Hex derivative type plays as well. PulseX is down, so Unity is down right now, but we're expecting more through collaborative staking from Unity, so keep a lookout for that. We're going to try and get cryptographics on again. We just had them on recently, but we'll get them on again as well. Voucher course, we talked about that being one of the top 2 validators right now on Pulse Chain, and of course offering you access to validators staking without actually having to run your own technology. So it's kind of the play there. Let's see what else we've got down there. Let's see. We're going to scroll down a bit more here. Scrolling down. We obviously have recently had the Rack and Michelle launch with Coin Mafia. We're watching that play out, so I've got to do a bit of catch up on that. So I'll update you on that when I've caught up with what's happening with Coin Mafia. Currently 45 cents. PDI. Let's have a look at PDI, shall we? I think that had a big pullback, didn't it? So Pulse Coin List, I think it is. So let's have a look at I think it's 24-hour volume, is it? Market cap, can't remember now. I think it's market cap. Is it market cap or is it 24-hour? Let me see, 24-hour volume. I'll work that one out. PDI, yeah. So it actually had a bit of a flash crash, didn't it? It's currently at as 11/100th of a penny, but I did think that had pulled back quite a bit the other day. Let's have a look. They've got one of the biggest communities on Pulse Chain, but did have a bit of a pullback here. Let's look at the daily. Yes, I did have a couple of days in a row, had a bit of a crash down to 40 million pulse per PDI, now at 47. Let's look at the US dollar price. That's market cap, so I should say. So look at the US dollar price. Yes, it did collapse a bit. We're on back on the 15 minutes chart again. But let's log that. And yeah, so we got down to 3.0. So we did lose a 0. We're at 9,100, right? 9,100 there, but it has bounced back and almost back at 11/100th of a penny on here. So a little bit of a fight back there. Obviously, that's been generally pushed by Somi, kind of leads the way there. I don't think there's a big narrative. I think there's been a couple of attempts to give it value. So far, none of those have really worked. We had Better Bank. We had obviously the Make contract. So, it's I know LibertySwap still gives it quite a bit of support. Maybe LibertySwap will be maybe the key. I know that they've been trying to do, other derivative contracts to give it more value, Compound, for example. But I think it's just bad, generally failed so far. So, try to keep open mind, but generally failed. And I think there's much better offerings as we've just gone through a lot of other projects, which I think are much better offerings than what we're seeing here. So I think it's still, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so far, not great. All right, so let's have a look here. Source minimum, of course, supposed to go to Solana. Hasn't gone yet. It's still sitting there at 55. They've got huge treasury, guys. I bet it's huge, ginormous now. Shame that money is not going to be coming to Pulse Chain at this stage. They're probably still doing some buy and burns. I haven't looked at the spreadsheet lately. I will try and get that up and see exactly where they are on Source minimum. But you can still buy it and presumably go over to Solana. And I think it was because the Cron market, which has got like 13,000 elite European investors, they want them to go to Solana as a preferred chain. And that's probably why Wolfgang, CEO, has moved there. Now, he has been a little bit, moved around with the wind a little bit there. They kind of had a play, but this is kind of, I think, was the third token now. and you would have thought this was the final one, but we'll see what happens. They still seem to be here at the moment. We're in February, so I'll try and get an update on that too. It doesn't help not speaking the Deutschland, right? The old German. All right, so we've got True Farms at the moment. So it's True Farms sitting there at $1. That was from True DeFi. And of course, True DeFi here. Let's have a look at this. So these guys have been innovating. First, they had the miner. They were doing institutional kind of investment into Emmet, which I thought was a master move. And now they've also done farms to create more value as well. So let's keep pushing it forward, expand the ecosystem, and understand something else might be in the mix coming up. So these guys have got a big vision for rolling out probably a pretty big DeFi ecosystem and a nice partnership there with Emmet, doing some great stuff where Kairos, of course, is the founder of Emmet Farm, and it's been leading the way with the farms, I would argue, overall, on average. There are a lot of great farms. I think Nexian's another great one, but there's a few there function on out there as well, and we'll talk more about those coming up. So $1 looking not too bad. We're only not too old though yet. We're not too old. It's only been 106 right now. So we'll keep a lookout for that as well. And of course, also how the miners of treasury flow back into the miners, perhaps. We'll try and get an update on all that stuff as well. But nice showcasing in the Monster Thread. We're going to look at some of these farms in there as well. So we'll keep back into that. All right, so we've got the PC Grays. I think, have a nice bounce back on when we get Pulse Chain on a reversal. Let's have a quick look at the price there on this one. Trying to get the right pool. What's this one up here? PDC PulseX. Let's see, PDC, the pulse up here. This is the bigger pull, 449K. Let's see where this chart is at right now. So we're on the daily. It has bottomed out a couple of days ago with the double bottom touch there, 406500. So it's come down a long way. Remember, it was making a bit of a fight back at 3 zeros. Now got 4 zeros and currently bounced back at 4 zeros, 7500. So we were down at 406500. Had a bit of bounce there. So that's kind of that. We'll have to keep a look out. There are a lot of bigger holders. Let's have a look at a bigger view. Let's go to the monthly for the DAOs that's been around for a long time as our first DAO token. And, of course, had a lot of influencers, B-Roots, many others, Prairie Banana, all supporting this. Prairie Banana, of course, being the main influencer. And we've got 407500 right now, sort of sitting in this picture. I guess we've got a bit of support, decent support around 405300. Of course, you don't really want it to go down there. It's quite a decent little pullback, but that would be arguably the next point. We had resistance there, and we had resistance at that level. So we'll see whether that holds up there, but it's still quite a bit down from 7,500 to 5,000. So people holding that would be hoping for a bit of a turn. Our side there sitting at around 46. So that is PTC the Greys. Let's see what else we got going down here. A while back we had a bit of move on the old P Tiger. Should we have a look at that? The old P Tiger's going. We also had a bit of move on SCADA with Nuke to Supply. That's another token, the Nuke Supply, and the Nuke Supply, one of the most innovative projects. But of course, they're probably all these are probably getting pretty hard with the Pulse Chain pullback. Let's look at that on P Tiger. And so that's down too. But we're going to look at the pulse ratio, right? That's kind of the key one there. How's it doing against Pulse? Well, it's been pushed down quite a bit too with Pulse. So we're sitting at 92, and that's probably a long cry of where it was at the top there, over 330. So it's down a long way from that. RSI bouncing back a little bit there. Let's look at the US dollar price though for the RSI. It's probably more relevant. And let's look at the weekly chart there. So we're down at 47, but the daily, kind of the key mark there. And we're bouncing off 30 there. So P Tiger hoping it can hold on there. TP Tiger, of course, Tiger Crypto God, one of the rising X stars for Pulse Chain with his gun shooting and everything else. So that's kind of the play right now on the old Pulse Chain. So we've got a good half a dozen, maybe 9, half a dozen plus some of the farms is probably where we're heading at the moment. So we've got Liquidity Forks, got Dexes, got the validators, got the privacy solution from LudiSwap. We've got the Internet Money Wallet. These are kind of the leading protocols on Pulse Chain in terms of, I think, solid projects that are running at the moment. So, and then we've got the farms on top, to varying degrees. So, each farm's got its pros and cons. Some of them don't have that high TVL, even though they've got good products. And that's probably just more about marketing, promotion, and the market sentiment right now. So, probably the play. We got Hex Down Under says tour. Yeah, I've had a bit of a tour of Australia so far. Just come back from the Sunshine Coast. It was pretty amazing. We've got Frank White in the house there. Bang, bang, Pulse Gang. Good to see you, Frank White. And if you guys don't know, Frank White does the Pulse Chain ecosystem map, which is pretty amazing. Check it out as well. So that's kind of play on the charts. Let's have a quick look. We're going to move along here. Now, CryptoSolve, he's one of the what I call quants or analytical influencers on Pulse Chain. Keeps a tab of a lot of the blockchain activity and has a bit of a gift for that and tools and everything else. Now, he's been obviously commenting on some of the bigger wallets that have been selling on the old Pulse Chain, covering both Pulse sellers and Hex sellers. Obviously, we've been seeing some recent Hex sellers here. Today's rebound ecosystem has been primarily driven by traders. It's clear that people are still looking for entries, and the recent mini capitulation has provided them in abundance, as indeed. So whenever these whales redistribute, particularly at the bottom, it is a redistribution. Their tokens are going to somebody new, generally speaking, especially as the price goes up, then people benefit, right? So, even with these whales going out, we've got Pulse down. Pulse looks like it's about to gain 0, and it did indeed. And of course, first wallet there, fed by a different wallet that has, for the most part, just been bag holding since day one of Pulse Chain. So even wallets that are holding ages, they've made a few small transactions here. But around 12 hours ago, they early in-stake most of their last Hex stakes, capitulated their entire Hex and Pulse Hex bags, tune of 89K. All the proceeds were bridged out and used to buy ETH. So we've still got, even though they were solid from day one, still got wallets that are doing a capitulating at the bottom here. Now, no doubt Richard is taking note of a lot of these things. I'm sure he probably follows this in some way or shape or form. Second is the very familiar wallet there, wallet 9438, aka the 555 ETH guys. Of course, we talked about that a couple of months back. Initially bridged in the 1540 ETH around 9 months ago and spent an extended time of DCAing into the system, mostly cores and PDI. They made some interesting purchase decisions over the months that followed and lost a large chunk of their PDI when Better Bank was exploited. So that's unfortunate. And that was just another one that was unfortunate failure there. In January, they bridged out 250 ETH that they hadn't spent. Since then, they've been slowly selling down the positions and have bridged out a further 242K since the start of 26. They bridged out just under 900K. So that hits the chain, right? We got to, really out push the chain down there. You can see all those cells in there pushing Pulse Chain down. And of course, eventually we lost that fourth zero, right? Sitting on another 700K liquidity assets, there's still a bit of damage to be done yet. They're looking for a full exit based on how they manage their buys 25. The reasonable chance they don't care about the psychological level of gaining a 0 and continue to sell regardless. That's right. So just exit liquidity out of there. If Pulse gains, this is on the 18th, of course, so this is 4 days old. If Pulse gains 0 and fails to bounce at that level, there's a reasonable chance that both Pulse and PulseX will make new all-time lows unless the ratios either. So, which is what they did, right? They did do that. All right, so that is some of the pressure there. What was used to be a guiding light ended up, both of those. One hadn't sold since day one, and the other one there came with 1,500 ETH and then, got wrecked in the downtrend as well, then decided to capitulate, and out they go. So another two hits there on the old market, particularly when Pulse Chain is down, which means, it's a good opportunity for you guys to buy up. So that's kind of the play. 5.0 is a pretty attractive price now with the old Pulse Chain. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. And like I say, we've got Liberty Swap out there, so we're going to talk about Liberty Swap as well. So let's go quickly talk about that before we get into, I think, a very exciting topic, which is the Monster Thread 41. So let's do that. Let's see, what do we got down here? We've got some cool stuff from Liberty Swap. So it's 3 hours ago. Protocol quick upgrade. Privacy swaps just got even better. For extensive testing of our Railgun privacy routes, we're thrilled to announce full support for privacy swaps directly from Railgun to every Pulse Chain asset, including those small cap pump tire coins and meme coins. So everyone's getting the love here from the old Liberty Swap. Shield your funds, swap seamlessly, and land on Pulse Chain with 0 traceable trails, privacy plus accessibility for the win. So, they're continuing to lead the way. You've got the Railgun, the US dollars, under buying PCock, for example, using a privacy route there on Railgun. We'll need a Railway wallet, but of course we know that Liberty Swap's working on a wallet too. And we know we've got 1 or 2 other teams working on wallets also. And so including Ramp now, another bridge. We've got 2 bridge teams working on wallets. It's pretty exciting stuff on the old Pulse Chain. And there's a 3rd wallet as well coming. I can't remember off the top of my head who that was. There's a 3rd wallet coming as well. So pretty exciting times. There with the old PCock. But these guys have been buying, right? Ready to scoop up some PCock at on top of platform fees. Not only are these in platform fees, and they've been making some nice ones and some big bridge flows, but also buying up with some of their own capital and been bridging over some pretty significant capital over the Pulse chain as well. And they just keep on pushing it higher, and they're playing the long game, right? They keep rolling out the utility, and they keep supporting the market as well. And they're just slowly grinding. They're also looking to re-rank, as I said, on CoinMarketCap. That could be a major move for that top 50 spot and top meme coin position as well. And it does seem that a lot of the PCock holders seem to be pretty diamond hand at the moment. That's going to be an important aspect as well as we move forward. If you want to ever get to the $1 billion meme coin. Also, we might get maybe some institutional buying on there. The PCocks talk about that. They do seem to know some different players around. So there's a few things that could play out in addition to all that bullish stuff there as well. Protocol Hack says season is officially back on Solana. Keep this fund safe. So obviously nice commentary there. And the PCock charts, of course, looking pretty attractive, as you can see, getting up to some pretty high ratios there for Pulse per PCock. Now, how high is it going to go? Probably very, very high if value follow if Pulse follows value in terms of where people are seeing value, and we get a much more mature market there. And of course, Liberty Swap there leading the way with the old products. So this is why Liberty Shield is the best option. So we got Liberty Swap V2, we got Liberty Shield. So V2, remember, offered a lot of hooks. They can hook a lot of DeFi in without having to do any underlying contract changes. But cross-chain, I mean, it's a brilliant thing. They've got a formula for unified liquidity, which is being played out. Very excited. They've got Liberty Shield, of course, recently launched, and that's helping a lot. It provides real privacy there. And, multi-products, multi-chains, earning more fees, and, of course, helping to push up the PCock there, buying more PCock off the market, which means PCock to sell and setting up more pools, etc., etc. So pretty exciting stuff. And of course, we've got a new one coming up, right? So they've got more buys here. 9 hours ago, more buying. It's really they're following their words with the actions here. Pretty exciting stuff. Now, I just wanted to get into one of the other updates that's coming, which is ProveX, right? ProveX is coming. I thought it's just not far from here. Let me scroll down a little bit more here with the old Liberty Swap. Liberty Swap there, cross-chain champions, defenders of privacy, innovators on Pulse chain, and tenders of the flock. I love that. That's great. Scroll down here. We got. I'm just looking for the ProveX. There was a ProveX update somewhere along here. I don't want to go too long, but we'll quickly look at it if we can find it. They were also talking about putting liquidity pool on Ethereum as well, which I tend to be a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I'm not sure what the market said yes, so it looks like the market agrees with me, 86%, and I think that would be good for arbitrage and burning PCock. Got to burn the PCock away. So that's going to play. What else there? Just bought some more PCock. I mean, this is the 20th there, 2 days ago. Always buying more PCock, so that's really, really cool. Isn't it great to see a team really following up there? Not just fees, but seem to be bringing extra capital in and buying up the old PCock. But of course, Liberty X is coming. There was an update that I read. I'm not sure where it is now. Richard Hart's been doing his ProveX course. I might talk that on another video, time permitting. Let's see here. So we had some here. Team has rolled out many small UI improvements in recent weeks. What else? The big upgrades are on the horizon with the transfer Pulse chain trading. And this is a big area. Like the trading area is something that they've been talking about, and I think it's going to be explosive. Seamless fiat inflows into pump ties as well. That's going to be really, really exciting. And Pulse chain assets, plus far more connected and user-friendly experience overall. And which I like about this team, they're always thinking about the user-friendly side of things, UI, UX type of experience, as well as the process. Let's see here. They're always looking at EIP upgrades, seeing how they can incorporate those as well. And another railgun balance on Arbitrum has been able to connect to Pulse chain, working with security teams to take a closer look at our new contract that will connect Liberty Swap 2.0 with Chainlink. And I said earlier, Chainlink is going to be the big data chain, right? It's going to be the one that they're confirming, prices of things and that. Circle, of course, are going to benefit from the Genius Act and the stablecoin boom. Remember that stablecoin, these operators, they earn so many billions of dollars with these deposits, treasury deposits, and things like that, repos. That's why the banks are trying to challenge the Clarity Act, right? Because these guys are crushing it. They're going to crush it even more. And of course, we're expecting, if Scott, Bessent, the secretary, is correct, we're expecting the $3-4 trillion with stable coins by 2030. So the banks, some of the banks that are savvy to this are challenging this move on yield. Yield is the battle, right? Yield is the battle. So Circle there, a pretty big play. So Liberty Swap is really linking into the key players for the bull market ahead. That's changing the financial system is dramatic. That's what I'm saying. It's a bigger shift than people were thinking. It's a big financial shift onto the blockchain, and you guys are all here at the right time, right place. Just got to make sure you got the right assets in play. It's also working on Liberty Swap UI UX, as I said earlier. So doing some cool stuff there from the team. Now, I did read the thing on ProveX, but it doesn't seem to be able to find it at the moment. So, that's some of the cool stuff coming. ProveX course is coming down the line there. So the third product, and then we've got ProveLend as well. ProveLend is coming. And so you're going to have privacy and lending at the same time. It's going to be pretty insane, guys. So, yeah, it is going to be pretty cool. I think you guys are going to enjoy it for sure. All right. So that is some of the cool stuff happening there. We're going to probably do more coverage of that. Now we're up to an hour and 60 minutes. So already pushing it. Don't forget, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to smash the subscribe button on YouTube. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels: the PulseChain X, the Superman Crypto, and the Crypto Night Show. So smash the subscribe button; it really helps a lot. And hit the bell for future videos. As you guys know, we're back to streaming again. We're going to do some specialty topics as well. So you're going to look forward to that. And they're going to be short videos. So I hope there'll be a really good content digester. And of course, if you're on X, don't forget to smash the follow button at the top. It really helps a lot. And if you guys want to go next level, the intel's back. I've obviously been on first holiday over the last 6 years. So just join Strategy Club. It's pinned at the top on X and in the video description on YouTube. It's only just over $1 a day. So $35 a month US. Fantastic value. And I post all the intel in there. If you want to keep up with everything that matters, I'll be posting in there. So as I'm learning more, as I'm finding out more, you guys will see it in there. These are the key things that really help understand the bigger picture and some of the specific companies as well that you could really get involved with and do really well out. So just take note of that as we move forward. So Strategy Club, join up today. Links in the video description. It's a private club in the Discord. Discord there, I think, has got something like almost 1,100 people or something in it. So join up today's Strategy Club there and be part of the insights there that we're providing. So pretty exciting stuff. All right, so good stuff happening there. Let's jump over to the Monster Thread. And this was last week's, but we've got a new one coming out tomorrow. Of course, the Monster Thread there is a publication of the Crypto Night Show. Our editor-in-chief of the Monster Thread is MVS Crypto, promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show as well. Does a great job every week there. And if you're a team out there on PulseChain, you want to get some coverage, and this is your best bang for your buck. So it's a pretty reasonably priced, a professional publication, and it also is your best chance of reaching the PulseChain community. Number one readership in the PulseChain community for weekly news, covers everything that's hot. It's a neutral publication, so the news is neutral, and it's pretty exciting. So anyone has a chance of getting in there, and we do some pretty big research in there to make it like that. So it's a pretty great place to be. We do have some sponsors in there, so it's pretty cool and makes the publication sustainable over the long term. And it's a win-win for everybody. So get in there if you're a project team. You want to get exposure. It is the best way of building brand awareness, particularly in the down market. When the market goes up, the readership's going to go through the roof. So get in there and build your brand and people linking in through to your websites and products and things like that. So and cryptos. So we got Rich's new tool at the top there, Lasso Finance. Highlighted Lasso Finance, a new tool with support for PulseChain's stable deposits, including HexDC. I'll probably talk more about that coming up. Sweet Happy Valentine's. Obviously, Valentine's Day was on. I hope everyone had a good Valentine's as well. Susie Q in the house. She does amazing work there. Sent a sweet Valentine message to Richard Hart, including, looks like some honeybee combs there. Libby Swap on Blockcast. Blockcast pointed out interesting tech brewing at Liberty Swap Financial, calling it next level cross-chain interoperability. So getting some good recognition there on Liberty Swap. Liberty Swap is about to go next level month after month. I just see it climbing. Internet Coffee wallet there. So Crypto Coffee highlighted the latest big UX or user experience improvements to Internet Money Wallet from KG. True Farms, of course, one of our hottest DeFi ecosystems expanding on Pulse Chain, shared impressive results for DeFi, True DeFi 2 weeks after launch, showcasing the potential of 2x's strategic reserve engine. So big shout out to that team, and great place. They're pretty busy. One of our most busiest Telegram groups now is True DeFi. So a big shout out to them. Tablets in the library there. Brother KG from Net Money branded Pulse Chain tablets in a library and outreach. So look at that. You got some frontline stuff there. People picking these up. This is how people get onboarded, right? They pick up stuff like this and they'll look at it and go, oh my God. And they start reading it. Before they know it, they're picking up, getting a wallet and picking up some Pulse Chain. Call to action there. Coconut Kai rallies hundreds of Pulse Chain community members to support a changing Richard Art's outdated information on Google. So it's all being updated there as well. Trending on Twitch, Dieter Cryptomatic hit the front page of Twitch. This is huge, and he deserves it, right? He's been in the Monster thread many times. He's a DJ, does amazing shows, and he's at the front page on Twitch, reaching a massive turnout of 190,000 views. So he finally cracked it on the old Twitch. So huge shout out to DJ Cryptomatic. What a reward for consistency and quality product. So big shout out to him. Switch integration kits. Brandon, there, of course, one of our big developers, released the official free integration kit for Switch Dex aggregated on Pulse Chain. I'll probably have a look at that. Probably talk more about that in the future. Australia DeFi meetup as well. So some of the influencers there, Jimmy and Coexistence 7, meeting up in Perth. So you can got a nice little meetup there. Triple Dad represents, recorded a video representing Pulse Chain at Holster HV Park. So big shout out to him. Hellfire movie trailer. DeFi Nation dropped the trailer of Hellfire movie, executive produced and co-financed using early Pulse Chain mining rewards. Swords and Pennants. We had Turbo Peg there, gave a shout out to Pulse Chain Store, which has been giving away thousands of t-shirts on Pulse Chain. So big shout out to them for showcasing his pennants and a sword. Pretty cool. And then Pulse Chain in Hong Kong there, picture of the open info service attending Hong Kong consensus there, which was a pretty big crypto meetup. We also primed the skyrocket there as well. What else there? Blockchain Builders on Poll is running a super competitive poll between BNB Pulse Chain as well. So getting some good stuff there. I'll go have a drink, I think. It's been a while since I've talked so long. All right, so honorable mentions there. ZK Pulse. She's a difference between privacy and anonymity. Tangent. Shout out to Internet Money Wallet for their work. Crypto Connor there explains the enthusiasm of PCock. And Crypto Caucus there, she has a picture with Pulse Chain tablets or shouting out Griffin, who's been running all that beehive type thing in California, distributing all the iPads. So it's pretty cool for Pulse Chain promotion. Now, some of our top promos there. Heartwood Dog, Season 2 incoming. True DeFi, astonishing SRE results. SRE is kind of their investment arm. They've been investing there, so it's kind of cool. Emmett Farm, APR surges. You're after a really high APR. Emmett Farm is the place to be. Nexian, of course, offering several new DeFi products. I'm going to talk more about that coming up as well. I've always had an affection for Nexian. They really are one of our frontier DeFi innovators, along with Emmett Farms and True DeFi, looking really good. So we're going to cover that more in future. And of course, we've got our non-profit for veterans, which is Hero and Vets. Big shout out to that team as well, doing some great stuff in that space. So pretty cool. Hog there, of course, moving forward. Hog crushing it. I love this stuff. Hog, I mean, we're lucky to have our own anime series on Pulse Chain. It's insane. These guys just keep delivering. So big shout out to them. We had True DeFi's first 2 weeks, SRE power as well. So what's some of these numbers? Let's have a quick look at this. With over 300 billion Pulse staked, billions in dividends distributed, and daily deposits hitting 1 to 2 billion Pulse, this DeFi is done right. So big shout out to the team. They're delivering some awesome stuff there. And got to be one of our most active Telegram groups now. Is the old True DeFi. So, they just keep delivering and expanding, trying to create value for their participants, let's say. So pretty awesome stuff there from them. Keep up the good work. Emmett Weekly Blast. Of course, Emmett keeps delivering the high yields, and the price chart is showing that, that confidence and that strategy is playing out very nice with high APRs consistently month after month. And of course, Emmett there crushing it. So really great place along with True Farms from the looks of it, for some nice high yield opportunities on Pulse Chain. Nexian, of course, coming with new products. We've got Master Chef, Vaults, Governance, Predictions, and more. And we're going to try and cover Nexian more in the future. So keep a lookout for that. They really are leading the way with a leverage and also yield. So the yield and leverage, two big things that people are after in the market. And these guys are innovating at the frontier. So a big shout out to them. We're going to talk more about that coming up as well. Love that. Look at this. These interfaces are great. Look at that. That's fantastic. So definitely worth checking out Nexian for high yield opportunities, along with Emmet and True Farm, I should say. Some good stuff happening there. All right. So let's scroll down a bit further there. Obviously, we've got the vets and the hero supporting the vets, and you got to love the artwork there. It's pretty cool. So a quick look at this one. Yeah. So Vic Foundation 55. So if you've been in the armed services, something like that, there's a great token for you. And if you like supporting the vets who serve, there's a great token as well. Doing a great job. And of course, they've got support in Emmet Farm and other farms as well. So pretty cool. Hero and vets are the two tokens. So nice one to give them a little like on the old part there. Yeah, some awesome stuff happening, guys. Just giving a few of these, a few community shout outs as well on the Monster Thread, Sunny's Pub, Morbius, Intasia Network, Home Engding there. So there's lots of project teams and the community spotlight. So big shout out to all those teams as well. So yeah, and the next Monster Thread's coming out tomorrow, guys. Monster Thread number, let's have a look here. Monster Thread number 42 is coming out tomorrow. I might actually repost this now because I've been away obviously for 18 days, so I probably missed out a few reposts. But let's hit the repost on that. Bam. All right. So that is some good stuff there. If you guys haven't checked out the Monster Thread, definitely worth reading. If you guys are busy during the week, what a thing to read because it'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening on Pulse Chain. So it's well worth doing that. Hey, we've got Eddie in the house there. Hey. Hi, Eddie. Good to see you. And we've got Get Hex as well. Ooh, hi, Suit Man. Good to see you. Hey, good to be back, Get Hex. And a big shout out to you. We've got World of Free Speech, shilling XRP. Hopefully mods delete that. We try to get away from the shilling there. We got that's the link there to the Monster Thread. And of course, don't forget to give MVS Crypto a follow. Of course, the editor-in-chief of the Monster Thread, as well as promotional lead for the Crypto Show. So big shout out to MVS, crushing it out there, especially while I'm on holiday. All right, so that's the play on there. And yeah, very exciting times. And of course, Monster Thread number 42 is coming out, 42 weeks. Pulse Chain's hottest news is coming out tomorrow. Well worth following there. Now, if you guys haven't given a follow, don't forget to smash the follow there on X. Really appreciate that. And also, don't forget to smash the subscribe on YouTube. So an hour and 26 minutes, not bad. Almost an hour and a half show as a comeback show. So yeah, look forward. We'll be doing live streaming again tomorrow. And we'll pick up some really cool topics. Now, if you guys have got some topics you want me to talk about, let me know because I will be doing some stuff coverage on live streams, but also going to be doing some specialty videos as well. So look forward to that coming out. They're going to be short and sweet and packed full of insights. So yeah, big picture, man, we have got some exciting times ahead of us. V recovery, massive structural change, new monetary order moving the blockchain. It is exciting times, guys, and you guys who are here with this all happening. Keep a lookout for the Clarity Act. That is the big thing people are looking forward to. The floodgates will open. And it's game on for massive X returns, the magic money to be made. So position yourself well. Like I say, if you want some good intel on all that, jump in the Strategy Club. Links in the video description. And, of course, pinned to the top of the X profile, as you can see there. So well worth joining up for sure. All right, we're going to leave it there. I will pop in the Discord after the show. So if you want to chat in there, you can do that as well. It's good to be back. And, yeah, look forward to tomorrow's show. Back to the usual, right? Back to the usual. Or is it who we say back to the day job? Back to the day job there. As you guys know, I love crypto. You guys love crypto. And it's great to be able to share the journey with you guys. All right. Nice one there, Get X. All right. Take care. Catch you guys again tomorrow. And bye for now.